Well, look, thank you very much, Dave, for the mini mix.
Sorry.
That was fantastic. There were some songs in there I really cranked down to. That
Can
second
you hear me?
last one.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of songs in there actually mine. That last one is by Western Hartshorn and Outforce. Yeah. Not released yet, so preview.
There was
Fucking cunt, he hasn't sent that to me.
there was a whole bunch of people wanting to know what tracks were played then, so I told them that you would fill them in later on. You can go back and watch the video and
The Bonkers edit, that's mine. The Back That Ass one, that face down, ass up, that's where we like to make passionate love.
You can say the F word on this show.
you dropped
France.
You dropped the C bomb about 12 times in the first 10 minutes of the show. I don't think anyone gives a fuck if you say fuck.
Just a question out there, is there a word worse than cunt?
Fucking cunt? I don't know. Dirty cunt?
We're looking for a single word, because, like, cunt was the pinnacle. I'm not going to say anything worse, I just need to know if there's because you got to push new boundaries.
Look, if most people call me cunt, I'm okay. But there's another word that I won't repeat, that if I got called it, I'd lose it.
Whoa.
Most people would.
Damo?
Penis eye.
No. I don't care.
I need to know now.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of those tracks in that mix were mine. I'll be playing pretty much all of them at DEFCON.
What was that one with a really isolated kick drop that was just
that's cool.
donk, 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 but it wasn't donk?
Which one? The
I think it was like your second,
edit?
third. Oh,
That's
could have
another
been.
one of mine.
Could have been.
That's NRG by DJ Weaver.
Ah.
Yeah.
We
that
actually
was
just
good.
just post the track list later.
NRG. I can't remember what I played. That's the thing, right?
You'll have to rewatch it and go, oh yeah, that's
I
what
literally
played."
have to. I never prepare a set in my life.
You can tell.
Wow, for someone who wears black, you throw shade very well.
I just don't. I never prepare. I get people telling me, oh, I've been working on this mix for weeks. And I'm like, you should know your music. You should be able to look out at the crowd and work out what the crowd wants and work what you have into that. Because a lot of DJs tell me, and this is a little DJ tip. Dave PSI, DJ/DJ Cayza, DJ tips.
I'm going to start doing DJ tips again. But anyway, continue, because I might steal it.
Well, one of the things with me is, and most experienced DJs as well, don't plan sets. They know roughly what songs they're going to play, and they know what songs in their, what do you call it, your arsenal? What in their arsenal, what they know what goes well together, and they know what works with the crowd. But like for me, I'm 100% a crowd DJ. Now, I mentioned this comment once on someone's status in the States, and it blew up. When I say I'm a crowd DJ, I'm not going to play every track the crowd wants. I'm not going to go from,
You're not just going to play the bangers.
Yeah. But I will look at the crowd. I will get a feeling of how the room is feeling. Is the room looking and feeling tired? Am I getting reactions? With the bigger crowds, it becomes even harder because you can't judge off faces. I used to tell people when
everyone looks like this.
No. Like when we used to do Team Rocket sets, we used to play in front of like 6,000-7,000 people. You can't. You're looking at the movement of the whole crowd, almost like an ocean. You're seeing the wave, and that is how you go off big crowds. And if you don't learn to deal with that skill at a small level, no matter how big your ambitions are to rock a massive stage, you're never going to rock it properly if you can't manage a crowd.
Because I think I did one ever DJ set with you, and I think after the first mix, I've looked over and I've said, "What key is this in?" Because I've been learning to mix in key, and you're like, "Fucking, I don't care."
So this is another thing, right? There's a big thing at the moment about mixing in key, like it's a big deal, all right? So they press master tempo.
No, don't touch that shit.
But that keeps tracks in keys. I hate it. Don't use it.
know
Because
what
what
the
it
key
does
is.
is it distorts tracks and reduces the quality. So if you've already ripped that song off YouTube and you play master tempo, it's going to sound even worse on a bigger system. Bigger systems hide X amount of stuff, but just learn to read the crowd, learn what your bangers are, learn to get the room moving first. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to start at 185 and finish at 195, and that's going to be mad. And then 2 tracks in, you've cleared the dance floor and you can't go backwards because you've started way too forward.
Okay.
And you're supposed to move forward in sets. You're supposed to take the people
On a journey.
yeah, like you want them to walk away going, fuck, that set was banging. Not the first 5 minutes going, holy shit, that's just going mental. Like, I'll give you a good example, right? Lux played at a party a few weeks ago at Valve, and she started really hard.
Shout out, Lux.
Massive shout out. She rocked that set. Like, by the time she finished it, she transitioned from one genre into another and maintained that room and increased the tempo. And it was a skill in its own. Like, you can play one genre and you can be 100% that genre. But if you don't know as a DJ to transition into other genres or move to maintain a room, if you've cleared that room by the time you finish your set,
You can't come
that's
back.
what the room's going to remember.
Yep.
That you cleared a room. So be versatile.
I've done that.
Learn to manage a room. Don't overly prepare your set, because I can guarantee you can prepare the first 10 songs and you get 2 songs in and you're like, these next 8 songs are not going to work.
Yep.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
Crystal Rave Girl learnt that when she rocked up with her pre-planned set, and then 15 minutes in, she realized, because I was guiding her a little bit and explaining to her things to look out for, and she started realizing I need to bring a much bigger variety of music. And credit to her, the next set that we spoke at, she brought a lot more music and was a lot more prepared for whatever was going to happen. And the next set she did was killer.
Well, just a testament to her. She will be on this show in the next few months. I won't say
that's
when,
good.
but Little Crystal has been. It was penciled in. Now it's like a 2B pen. So
While we're talking about guiding and so forth, and if I can take it on a slightly more serious level, I just wanted to pay homage to everything that you've done for the rave scene.
Thank you. It's not much.
No, see, this is one of the reasons why I think that you deserve such a homage, because as someone who knows a little bit more than the average raver about what goes on behind the scenes, I know how much you put into it, and the guidance you've given up and coming promoters like Vendetta 7 and all that crew and all those ravers, and really just helping the grassroots.
Yeah, you know,
and I really appreciate that, and thank you.
one thing I learned, and I always get this from up and comers, they're like, oh, you know, they suck about not making sets at Massive or getting bigger gigs and stuff like that. Like, fair enough, you've got the quality and you've been doing really well, but you got to understand that when I have this thing, right, where it's like there's the rule and there's the exception, and everyone always
thinks that
they always pin themselves to the exception, but they don't realize that they're actually part of the rule. All right, so it's like with basketball, hypothetically. Michael Jordan. Everyone wants to be like Michael Jordan. Great target to be like, or LeBron. Try and be as good as him, but realize that if you don't reach there, he's not the rule. The rule is that most people work hard and become good at what they do, but only the exceptions break through.
Like I completely agree with that.
That's
And
some pretty solid advice, and
Yeah.
that's
And that's the thing with parties. Like, most up and coming promoters have really big ambitions, right? And
I want to take over straight away.
but that's great. It's great
Yeah.
to have ambition, but
got to set the bar high.
yeah. But the one thing that I've learned over time is that your time within this scene, for some people, and I'm going to put myself there as the exception, gets to have a long span in it. But the rule is most people don't stay in the scene for more than maybe 3 to 5 years. If you've gone more than that, you're doing really well. And that's the thing, like, these are moments in your life that are going to create amazing memories. You're going to have amazing achievements, more than you've ever had in your life. And don't let politics and what people say around you bring you down. Just keep learning, keep trying your best, go out and find your own supporters, find your own punters, build something of your own. And if it takes you a couple of years and you make some small achievements, that's a wonderful memory that you get to spend and take with you for the rest of your life. That's why I'm very proud of Vendetta 7. He's done quite a lot in the last couple of years for a guy that's struggled with a lot of, like, he has really bad self-esteem problems. You know, he has a lot of personal issues. And you think about the guy that he was 2 years ago to the guy he is now. He's played interstate 4 times. He's playing at Massive this weekend. He's had gigs.
He's on the Unity lineup.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
he might not ever play at a DEFCON. Who knows? He might, but I think, you know, he's hosted quite a few events. He's had like decent numbers turn up,
Yeah.
even with a lack of promotion. Sometimes he still has a lot.
That Cell event was packed.
Mate, it was awesome. And, you know, he got to say, I put on an event with Cell. Like, that's huge for a lot of people. You tell that to most people in America, and they're like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And he gets to say that. And in 10 years' time, he can look back and say, I did this, this, and this, and be very proud of his achievement. And that's all I ever want of everyone. Like, especially with you guys in this show. I know the amount of work you guys have been doing over the last few months. And from where it was to where it is now, it's spectacular. I'm really proud of you guys.
Yeah, I've already got some pretty good feedback about this show,
Yeah.
not just about Dave's ass.
No, this show's brilliant. You got to keep at it, and who knows? You know, if it blows up and becomes huge like it deserves to be, that's great. And if it doesn't, you can look back and you can say, "I remember that time we did that show and Dave pulled his ass out." Well, that'll be a warm memory to Caleb.
It's funny you say that. It's always going to be a memory.
Warm memory.
When I first told a few people about this, doing the Unhinged program, some of them said to me, they're like, you know, where do you want it to go? Like, and I'm like, it'll go where it needs to.
Yeah.
Like that is literally my goal. If it blows up, then great. If it doesn't, it was an experience. That's kind of my outlook on it all.
And back to what you were saying, Dave, I've been asked quite a few times by people who might be into year 2 or year 3 of their, I guess, performing ambition, and they say, and they have this honeymoon period where all of their friends want to support them. They have this huge support base, and then after a while, the novelty of having a friend that's DJing can wear off, and you find that all of a sudden that your support base has dropped off somewhat, and it can be quite discouraging. And I often say to people, like someone goes, "Oh, what should I do?" And I said, "Look, mate, it took me 4 years to even get $25 as payment for my gigging." 4 years.
You get paid $25,
and that's where it started. I was doing love jobs for 4 years, and then grinding for another 4, and all the things that I've done have only come after like really legging it through some shit time. Like, I've driven 4.5 hours to play a free gig.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that comes with it. You have to do the hard yards first. And if you're upset that you haven't played main stage at Massive yet after 2 years, there's plenty of time. There's absolutely plenty of time.
I started DJing in 91. I played my first rave, which ended up being my friend's birthday party / rave in 94. And I became a regular in the Sydney rave scene in November 2000. Took me 9 years to cement myself.
Yeah,
I always have not a laugh, but I kind of smile inside when people ask, you know, why haven't I got sets yet at Massive after they've been in the scene or been DJing for like a year or 2 years? I'm like, you do realize that's the biggest hardstyle club on the planet.
Yeah.
It's the only hardstyle, weekly hardstyle club on the planet, and the biggest hardest styles club in the Southern Hemisphere. I'm like, chill.
Yeah. And look, it's also easy as well to downplay or rationalize any of your achievements.
I'm playing with DEFCON.
When I say that, some people will say, "Oh, look, you've only played international, or you've only played interstate, or you've only played this party because you know this person, or you're friends with this person." I'm like, well, abso-fucking-lutely, you have to put in that work to know that person.
Yeah.
You have to be around, and you have to do the grinding, and you have to have some iota of talent in order to be considered in the first place.
Mate, you can be
So
friends.
does that make my career the exception?
You're the rule, mate. You're the rule.
So
You need talent.
don't downplay yourself. You're actually a really good DJ.
Thank you.
The thing is, it's one thing to know everyone and to push for sets, but you have to build your own base. You have to get the word out and tell people who you are, make people hear your music, build what you're doing, do something regularly, grow your own personality. And when you're doing something like that, that's when the promoters start noticing you, because you don't want to be the exception, the guy that gets the set once or twice and then he's vanished. So this is the reversed exception. So
Are you going back on your earlier advice?
no, it's still the same rule.
Yeah.
The rule is it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time and a lot of marketing and getting your name out there and bettering yourself and like really expanding what people know about you and making people look at a lineup and see your name and go, solid
Get excited.
DJ.
Yeah.
All right. That takes a lot of work, and that's what builds long careers. That's the rule. The exception is, the promoter, you get billed maybe 4 or 5 times.
You
and
can't
then
sustain a friendship
it's just
or a
not
pity
sustained.
gig. You can't
Yeah.
sustain it. Yes.
because it's
100%.
only so long a promoter can look at you and say, look, man, I need numbers on my door.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, whether it's selfish or financial, it's people putting their own money into an event, and they don't want to be in the situation where they're broke after 3 events and they don't get to do any more events because they've lost all their money.
Yep.
They become jaded. They leave the scene. The scene doesn't grow like that.
Jared and I just looked at each other.
Yeah, we know exactly who we're talking about.
I think through telepathy we just said about 15 names to each other. Dean Magritte.
Look,
He's never lost money on a party. It doesn't cost him anything.
No, I'm joking. I want to get Dean on the Unhinged show.
That'll be interesting.
his business, he's worked really hard for his own.
I actually love Dean.
Yeah, he's a big part of all the events I put on. Actually, I try and give credit when I can, but he's like without him there, you notice the difference at my event. So for what I do, he's a massive part of what I do.
There's a lot of inflatable vaginas. There's a lot of inflatable vaginas.
Yeah, but without the stuff that he supplies,
Yeah,
who else are you going to get it from?
That's true.
Like I spent years building my own stuff to bring to events, and it's to the point of exhaustion trying to do it on my own. And having Dean there as a partner at events is a massive help. But don't want to go too somber.
Yeah, this got pretty deep. Like, this is just where we're meant to dribble
This
shit.
is the recap. This is where we, this actually feels like the real interview where the fuck around was first. No, no. Look,
So in summary, banana
and mayonnaise,
mayonnaise
no good.
is fucking disgusting.
It's awesome.
Maybe next time we have you on the show, we can set up some
Semen and grapes.
we can cook some pasta dishes.
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi's a potato.
Why is it in the pasta section?
Because there's no potato section. We're going to put in the freezer with the chips.
Yes.
Did you know that your stomach thinks that all potato is mashed?
Yeah? Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I get confused because sometimes I was eating gnocchi the other day and then I realised it was actually potato gems. I couldn't tell the difference. They're the same thing.
Do you actually eat banana and mayonnaise sandwiches?
Yeah, I my corner.
Did you?
I like it.
It's got a tang. There's a definite tang, and it's like it's that feeling just after you've had something that's off and you're not sure if you're about to turn. I'm like,
What the mayo does is it makes the banana creamy, and I like that.
I think the banana's creamy.
Does Dean bring the pole to rocket science?
No, that's that.
Because Anne Marie said as long as the pole's there, so we don't need
So
Dean for that one.
full credit goes to Anne Marie on the poll suggestion. She was pushing for it.
Was it
And,
popular?
I don't think
Mate,
I don't think there was a time anyone was offered at the last.
I was
at the
on
last-
it, and I got to tell you, my
I
arms
watched.
killed for 3 days, and I have massive respect for everyone that does it. It's actually really cool. So what happened was, I was talking to Anne Marie about she does pole dancing stuff, and I made some jokes about it, and she goes, "You should have it at rocket science. It'd be really cool." And I'm like, "Oh, I should look into it, eh?" And then I made a status, like a throwaway status, going, "Oh, should I have a pole at rocket science?" And everyone just started going, "Yeah, do it." And I'm like, oh shit, I think I better look into it.
Let's not stop here. Let's go to
No,
t-shirt contests and jelly wrestling.
But that's the thing.
I thought rocket science hit its peak when it just had the tube thing that everyone seems to jump into, which really freaks me out when someone walks up behind you and they're standing and you're like, "The fuck just happened?"
well, I had I started getting quotes off people, right? And then Ricky, Shane, DJ Toon's girlfriend, messaged me going, I have a pole at my house that you can use. She's going to Europe and she didn't want it. Like, she didn't want it anymore. So she gave it to me. She donated it to Rocket Science and I set it up. And the whole night, everyone loved it. And I think one thing that, for me, it desexualized pole dancing for me.
So you could never go to a strip club again, hey?
Well, he could. He just want to be on the pole.
No, but that night, trying to see like people trying to do it, and then me trying to do it, and then seeing Rachel and Anne-Marie do it at a really good level,
Just ruined your wank.
it made me realize fuck, it's actually quite a skill.
Oh yeah.
And then I started watching videos, and I'm looking at it going, oh, it's almost like gymnastics on a pole. This is crazy shit.
But when they're super talented, it takes the sexiness away, doesn't it?
Well,
There's some core strength.
But she's good at pole.
There's some core strength involved in pole dancing. Hicksy wants to know if he wants a jumping castle at the next Rocket Science.
You know what?
Haven't you done that already?
People pushed for a jumping castle at Sugoi.
It'll get trashed.
I brought it, and all people wanted to do was sit on it and drink and smoke. And I'm like, you can't smoke on a jumping castle because it won't remain a jumping castle very long.
So I remember back at a Utopia, back when it was at the Superdome, they had a jumping castle at the very back.
Yeah.
And me and the girlfriend.
That was in 2000.
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah.
Me and the
Oh
girlfriend.
no, that was the Ferris wheel. 2001 was a jumping castle.
Whichever year it was, we were lying in it, and it became just a giant munt puddle.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, and then all of a sudden, they must have reached the end of their hire for the night, and some guys flipped the switch, and me, and the girlfriend, and it just folded over us, and then some guys in high vis got us out.
No, my first experience of a jumping castle to rave was at Space Cadet 2.5, right? So there was a party called Space Cadet 2. And then the promoters had an argument, and one of the promoters quickly announced Space Cadet 3. So the other promoter announced Space Cadet 2.5 and did it before it.
I remember you telling me that story.
And then told the other promoter, you can't do Space Cadet 3 because I did Space Cadet 2.5. I own the rights to it now.
People are so petty in this scene sometimes, aren't they?
Awesome. I love Space Cadet. It was like one of my favorite raves. It was just so much fun. And actually, a bit of the way I promote events now is based off that. And they had a jumping castle at it, and I remember me and my mate Bosco were tripping balls on acid. And
We're still live, by the way.
That's fine. It's fine.
We're not just three blokes and a girl just sitting around having a conversation.
we're on this jumping castle, and then I come off it, and I'm like peeking tits. And Bosco's like, Dave, I'm like, what? He goes, I think I broke my arm. I go, where? He goes, when you jumped on me on the jumping castle. I go, did I? And he showed me his arm. I'm like, oh! And he goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to the hospital. I go, okay, I'm staying. And they had a giant sandbag slide. You know the ones you see at the carnival?
Yep.
And people were off their face, climbing up this massive ladder. Because it wasn't like the way it is now where you walk up stairs up the side. Yeah. This was a ladder. You're going up the ladder, holding a sandbag. You get to the top, and you sat down, and some guy pushed himself off. It was like, whoa! And then he actually fell off the slide, like 3 or 4 meters down.
So I also remember,
and they had the Phoenix. This was one of Phoenix's parties. He had an idea. I'm going to put the decks on a scissor lift and have the scissor lift going up and down the whole night.
That's not a bad idea. I can see where the problem happens.
It's a bad idea. When the DJ starts dancing and the scissor lift starts and everyone's like, what's going on?
I remember it was another Utopia, and it was outside. Remember how they had the rides outside in the smoking area?
Yeah.
And they had one of these, I think it was like you sit in a little 2-person car, and they went out and around as they went around.
yeah.
And I remember this Asian bloke, and he was next level, right? And he's decided while this is going, it was the greatest time of his life. He was going to stand up and put his hands out, and he just went flying off and like landed awkwardly and broke his arm as well. And like, have you ever seen someone injured while affected? Everything stops. Like he's like, I need to go to the hospital. and again, all of his mates are just like, see ya.
Oh, I've got some stories.
God.
I can't say.
Look, I
This show could go on for hours.
it could, and we got to cut it because we have hit the 2-hour mark. It's the longest show ever. We we are going to have to call it a night. Thanks heaps, Dave, for being on. This has been fucking amazing. And look, we've had over 600 comments, and it reached 80-something views at some stage. So this has been the biggest kick on so far. So thank you very much.
No, thank you guys.
We hope to see you all for our next episode on Wednesday, the 19th of September. And I can confirm, I won't say who, but our next in-studio guest is a UK DJ/producer from the UK. He doesn't live in Australia, so it's not Technicore or Brisk or someone. It's actually a UK dude. Top secret. I know he's told a lot of people, but it's top secret. And
And for those still online, also just to cut you off, if I can,
yeah, you're right.
because you were finished, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Make sure you come to Unity on Saturday and show your support for whatever genre, or because it's actually more about the scene, not about genres.
That's right.
Both Dave and myself will be there, representing Rehab and Rocket Science respectively. And we'd love to see as many faces there as humanly possible, because this is really, it is a unifying event. Agreed?
Sorry to interrupt you. You finished, yeah? So what I wanted to get to.
I want the last word.
What I wanted to get to.
No, yeah. Right.
Please come to DEFCON 1. What I've been told, tickets are actually going really, really well.
They actually are.
See you next year.
So I always talk to people about events and stuff, and all the events that we have on our calendar are amazing, right? But DEFCON 1 is a festival, and the only hardest styles festival we have in this country, and it's something that we as a community need to get together and support. And it's just an unbelievable day out. I mean, there's so many stages and so many things to do and so many things to see, and you're always going to see someone like maybe walking around naked or
I have that
on
photo.
the dance floor.
Poor guy. Yes!
Climbing a pole and then getting chased by seckies. But if you can, come to the gold stage and support me, or
Or go to the red
definitely
stage.
go and check out Cayza.
Cayza and Bennett.
Yeah.
The Orange Army will be in full force.
That I'm really excited for that set. Actually, you
Yeah.
guys doing hard trance reverse bass? What is it?
Yeah, just old school.
Yeah, I'm keen for that.
Yeah.
And if you're having a bad trip, just lie down in the middle of the red stage and
Yeah.
Anyone that liked Orange Stage, as I just digress from that comment, anyone that liked Orange Stage will like Bennett and I set. I'm keen for you. I'm pretty much going to be at Gold all day. I might drift over to Magenta every once in a while.
Well, from what I'm thinking, because when Lilith, congratulations Lilith on getting your set at DEFCON, fantastic stuff. It's good to see more hardcore represented there.
They should probably have a stage, but
So many girls in the hardcore scene are so happy about that, so I'm proud.
Yep.
But when they announced her and they showed some photos of the UV stage, is that what she's playing on? They showed the stage near the water. The the one.
Yep.
I think that's where the UV stage is. Yeah.
oh, cool.
that's
I
where
love-
it was last year. Yes.
Yeah. So since Gold has replaced the trap stage, I'm assuming where the fish was last year, next to the Magenta stage.
It's all up in the air till the day.
Yeah.
But,
Don't know, bro.
I
Either
do.
way, that's mad because it's a hard surface. Hard surface dance floor. There's no dirt to like choke everyone like we had in the first year.
I like that.
It was fun, but
I think the last time Gold Stage was on the main island, wasn't it like right next to the toilets?
No,
On the other side of
Yes,
red?
it was.
It was, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So where blue stage was last year? Oh, where? Yeah.
Because
Well,
the
parallel
green
next
stage was down where blue was last year.
Yeah.
That was the dust pit. That's the dust pit.
And to answer your question, Panhead, no, there is no MC for the gold stage. Rip. There's only one set that an MC would be comfortable doing anyway.
I'll MC it.
That's fine. There's none on the orange stage either, is there?
There is no orange stage.
You're on gold, of course.
Why are you rubbing it in for?
I actually completely forgot there.
We are the orange army that is
'cause-
playing on the gold stage.
Right, you're just colorblind.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's wrap this up.
And that's us.
We're dribbling shit now.
That's it from us at the kick on for the season 2, episode 2.
Check out.
We
Dave
hope to
PSI.
all see you for the next episode on Wednesday, 19th of September after DEFCON with our special UK guest. Bye from all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.